Welcome to lesson 1.3, where we finally put everything together to learn the unit circle. Now, before we jump into the unit circle, let's do a quick review from 1.1, where we were graphing angles. So if I need to graph 3 pi fourths, remember we labeled it like this. And then we always graph the initial side on the positive x-axis. And we graph the terminal side wherever the angle ends. So this is 3/4 of a pi. So it's going to go exactly halfway between pi halves and pi. And we go from the initial side to the terminal side, 3 pi fourths. Let's practice another one. -2 pi. Same thing with our labels, but now this time we're going negative, which means I really should switch these to go in the negative direction. Like that. Now I have my initial side always, and if I want to go -2 pi around, I'm actually going to end right where I started. But make sure that you're going clockwise for that negative portion of it. Now, let's try one that's a little different from what we've been doing. This one is graphing -2 radians. Now, the reason this is different is because there's not a pi attached to it. So this time, when we're labeling everything, instead of labeling this right here as -pi halves, I want to actually come up with the decimal for what -pi halves is. So if you put -pi halves into your calculator, you get about -1.7 on and on and on-ish. This one over here is going to be -pi, and we know that -pi is -3.14, and you could keep going around to get -6.28 all the way around for -2 pi. So instead of listing them in pi's, we're actually finding out what the decimal is for them. So now that I've got that, I have my initial side here always, and I want to do -2. So that means -2 is going to fall between -1.7 and -3.4. So that would be about -2 radians. Now, for this last one here, I'm actually going to change this to a 1/17 pi. So I am going in a positive direction now. And I know that 1 full revolution is 2 pi. So I need to figure out how many times am I going around this circle and then how much is left. So if I take 117 pi and divide it by the full revolution, that's going to get me 58.5 revolutions. So I need to go around this circle 58.5 times. Now you don't need to draw 58 times around, but I'm just going to go like this a few times. And then I want to end on half of a revolution. So half of a revolution ends me right there at pi. And that would be graphing 117 pi. By the way, I realized I made a quick mistake on this. This is actually 1.57, not 1.7 something. Remembered that wrong. So that is our quick review on graphing these angles. In the next video, we're going to use this graphing to start talking about sine and cosine of the unit circle.